Well, good evening and welcome to the Oak Point Nature Preserve in Plano, Texas. Tonight's exercise is a field test of the Cyansky H3 V2. I want to thank Cyansky for sending me this light and making the review possible. I also want to thank everyone who signed up to join the SAR team, which is the new members only community. You'll probably see a join button now right by subscribe. Click that and you unlock a private message area between myself and other members, as well as 3 different levels of exclusive member only videos. So I hope you see fit to join and look forward to seeing you on the SAR team soon. All right, let's get back to business. H3 V2. This is the H5. I reviewed that on the channel. There is a comparison. I've got average size hands, so that will give you a frame of reference. Functionality is pretty much the same, really simple. Tail cap switch on, off. Primary output levels here, the usual suspects, low, medium, high, turbo. You've also got eco, strobe, and then just like you had this dial here, you have one with a bit more room to get your thumb appropriately positioned right here. It's a little bit easier to turn, and this allows you to vary between the output modes, white, red, green. Well, enough of that. You're probably more interested in how this light performs. So, as always, I'll let the light go down out here in the preserve. Once the sun goes down, we've got the lake just here to the right, 600 yards line of sight across the lake. Lots of opportunities for very long views. So hang on and we'll get to what you're most interested in, and that is beam shots, and more beam shots. I'm putting this in a separate chapter in case you just want to skip to the field testing, but I do need to point out something in the interest of complete disclosure. When the H3 V2 arrived, I could not get the battery to charge. I could not get any USB-C charger to fit into it. I was able to fix that at a later point. It required some minor surgery with a multi-tool. So for my preliminary testing, I took the battery out of here, charged it up, put it in here. I've recharged it. That's what I'm running tonight. Same battery, shouldn't make any difference. If you've never had any experience with Cyansky, I also want to throw them some props, and that one of the things I really like about this particular manufacturer is that you have all the technical data, including step-down curves right here in the user manual. All right, that's it for listening to me. Next chapter, field testing. All right, we're starting at the edge of the lake in white, low output level. Up to medium. I go over to this edge. That's the restroom area, just over 50 yards. Then as I pan to the right, there's the picnic area that I filmed the intro. Now we're getting up in the 70, 75 yard range and just keep going. There's high. Now we're over 100. From here, a good 200 out to that tree line, and I can see some detail in that tree line, even with all the particulates in the air. All right, now let's go this way. That's the gap. One up for turbo. All right, you might be able to see something reflective way out there in the distance, gap between the trees. That is a post that's a good 600 yards from my current position. And yes, it seems the bugs really like it. Some heat buildup, but nothing uncomfortable. All right, well, let's look at red and green. I'm at another location not too far from the edge of the lake. This is red in low. Medium. High. Okay, I can just barely see the edge of that tree line. Go up in turbo. I can tell that there's a sign indicating the entrance to a trail. We're roughly 40 to 50 yards. Same area. This is green. Now we're looking out over the lake, starting out in low, medium. Can just barely get any detail across the lake. There's high. Now I can just start picking up detail, and right out about there is 150-ish. So green is definitely the power mode, just like the H5 if you're interested in color. And then let's go up into turbo. Right out in here is probably 175, getting out to 200, well, not quite 200, and not picking up any detail there. I can tell the beam is there. I know there's a tree line just because I can see the top of the trees against the sky. We have some light pollution from the surrounding city. And again, heat buildup, but nothing terribly uncomfortable. At the other end of the lake, there's the post that I was talking about. And across the lake, a good 600 yards is where I filmed that first segment. Thought you might be interested in a quick view. So if your hunt takes you out to a creek, here is high and green. Don't know the exact distances, but guesstimate is well over 50 yards. Real good visibility back there. In fact, if I was worried about white having too much reflection, this might actually be good for search and rescue. I'm just kind of wandering and talking off the top of my head. See if I can get a little bit more line of sight over here. Oh yeah. This is our last look in red, a more enclosed area, a split right here that goes off into two different trails in high. Bump that up. And our last look in red in turbo. And our last look in green on turbo with photonic barriers. I have street lights to my right and to the left, although you can't see the ones to the left on camera. Here we go. This is a good 140, maybe not quite 150 yards. I mean, right into that light, and I can see some detail in the tree line beyond, right at that street light. Again, heat buildup, nothing making me want to drop the light or shift my hand. Now the heat is getting up there. Right in the edge of making me want to shift my hand. Well, you got about a minute and a half there. Yeah, this is getting tough to hold. Okay, I think we got just a bit of a step down. Definitely on the very hot side. I am literally about to shift my hand as we go over 2 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and call that, and we'll do a wrap up. So here we are at another creek. I've got the light on in high white. I've been carrying this open in a pocket all night. No problems. You just get it out, locate these finger grooves here, then move down, and as you move your thumb around, you'll naturally feel that side switch area. You need a little more help. Once you turn the light on, it will light up here for a few seconds. So let me get my headlamp off. All right, here we go. High, white, another creek area. I hope you saw enough tonight. I think we got a good idea of what the light can accomplish. I would like to take it out to the LBJ grasslands, get it in a bit more of a wilderness setting. I'll add that to my still 1.5 month backlog. But if there are any additional tests you would like to see, leave a comment. Like I said, I'll add it to the list. No promises. Right now, I do really need to get caught up as we move into fall. And on that happy note, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for tonight. And as always, until the next review, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for watching the video.